Hi, everybody. This is Sarah Morrison with eXp Realty. And today I am doing an interview with Beth Dzurilla of Mutual Title. So, Beth, thank you so much for meeting with me again today. I know we've done other interviews in the past, but today, actually, before we start, why don't you give a little introduction of how long you've been in the industry and how long you've been with Mutual or anything that you want people to know?
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me today. It is a pleasure to be here. My name is Beth Dzurilla. I'm with Mutual Title. I've been with Mutual Title since 2005. I've been in the title industry since, I believe it was 2000. So we're going on about 23 years. I started when I was 10. So it's all good. And we are actually, Mutual Title is growing. So we're actually not only servicing Ohio, but we're right now in 8 other states, and we've got some more to come. So look for us in your town.
That's awesome. Yeah. So did they start off as just an Ohio-based company and now they're starting to kind of branch out into other states? I keep on seeing your announcements that you're now in XYZ state and this one. So that's really good. Awesome.
Yeah, we started in Ohio in 2005, and then right before the pandemic in about 18-19, we went into Michigan, and then it might have even been before that. And then we started growing. So Pennsylvania, Florida. Right now we're in Virginia, Tennessee, Maryland, DC, looking to get into Indiana and North Carolina before the end of the year. So hopefully before then, before the summer. So we'll get there. We're excited.
Nice. That's awesome. All right. So here's what we're going to talk about today. When we were trying to think of topics, we thought this might be a good one to share with you guys, because I don't know if you're like me. At least before I got into the real estate industry, I honestly didn't even really know what a title company was. I just knew whenever we purchased a home, like they contacted me and I signed a bunch of papers and that was that. And, it's probably easy to think that title companies can all do the same thing. They're going to do the search and this and that. But at least in my opinion, as a realtor and also as a transaction coordinator, so many transactions that I see that go from like contract to closing table, there are, title companies that really do excel. And then there are others that, that don't necessarily perform as well. So it is important to know that there are differences. And so I just want Beth to talk a little bit about when you find yourself looking for a title company, if you're purchasing a home, what are some things that you should look for or ask of the title company whenever you're under contract or looking to go under contract?
I think that's great. It's a great topic. So in my opinion, the most important thing to do as a buyer is to find a title company that you're connecting with. So you're shopping for service. The title company is the disinterested, by definition, it's the disinterested third party in the transaction. So we are working for the buyer and the seller and the lender and the realtors to make sure that all of the terms of the contract are carried out and that everyone gets paid in the end. So all payoffs, all liens, everything gets distributed correctly. So when shopping for a title company, it's okay to make a phone call, to call the company, to talk to somebody. Every title company has sales reps. You can call and talk to them and shop for where you're feeling the best connection. Real estate in general is a relationship business. You're working on referrals and you're working with friends and family and, your cousin's uncle's babysitter who you met at church. It's all referrals. It's all that organic relationship. And so as long as you're feeling like you have this connection with the title company, you're going to feel like you're getting better service. You want to ask the title company questions like, do you have any claims? Have you ever had to file a claim? We're essentially an insurance company. We're selling title insurance. We're issuing title insurance on the transaction. Have you ever had a claim? How many have you had? Who is your underwriter? Is it one of the big underwriters in the country? Most of the time, yes, it is. And so you want to do your research a little bit. How long have you been in business? Yeah, and depending on who you're talking to, how long have you worked at the company? Because that says a lot. If someone's been there a while or has only been there a short time, you can feel them out and see how comfortable you get. Because essentially, this is the person that's going to be working with you, and the company that's going to be working with you for the next couple of weeks on one of the biggest purchases you're ever going to make. So you want to feel warm and fuzzy about your title company, about your realtor, about your lender. You really should be shopping everybody, and you really should be making sure that you're connecting with everybody, and you feel like the people that you're choosing to be on your team have your best interest at heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know, for me, if I were to say possibly one of the most important things would be just the communication. So, I mean, that's probably one of the most frustrating aspects, when working with somebody who's not necessarily providing excellent service, is that communication. Because I know for me, when I'm working with buyers, like, I want them updated every step of the way. Like, we need to know, okay, did this happen? Did this happen? Are we on track for closing? Like, have you been scheduled to sign? Like, all that stuff. And honestly, sometimes it does kind of fall by the wayside and people aren't contacted. And so that's one of the things that I personally, recommend whenever you're talking to people. But it goes along with what you're saying about being a relationship business, because if you're in relationship with somebody, then they're going to respect you and they're going to communicate with you. So, it definitely is full circle with all that. The other thing I did want to touch on too is, and I honestly don't really know the answer to this question, so I hope I'm not putting you on the spot too much, but I know sometimes people will say that, their title company has like the lowest fees and things like that. In your opinion, do you think that makes a big difference, or do you see that there's a big discrepancy between title companies and fees, or are they pretty similar? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get what you're asking.
Okay.
So the answer is no. Not all title companies are created equal, but for the most part, all fees are created equal, because in Ohio in particular, so let's just talk about the state of Ohio. The title insurance premium, which is the biggest chunk of change, the biggest charge on the transaction, is filed rate state. So Ohio is a filed rate state. That means that the title insurance premium is going to be the same no matter what title company you go to. It doesn't change. It won't change. The endorsement fees, there's endorsements to the policies just like any other policy. Those fees are set by the state. Recording fees are set by the county. For sellers, transfer taxes, conveyance fees, those are set by the county. So there's not much that the title company themselves has control over fee-wise. The rest of them, the settlement fee, the exam fee, the commitment fee, the doc prep fee, all of those fees are incredibly comparable, and we all match each other. So if you're talking about, the two realtors are talking and the buyer and seller are kind of I won't say arguing, but having a discussion, they're negotiating the title company, and one says, well, these fees are lower than the other ones, but that Mutual Title has better service. We'll match the fees. There's nothing that we're not going to review. There's nothing that we're not going to take a look at. I'll take it to management and I'll have an answer to you within seconds. So there really isn't anything fee-wise that should ever kill a deal or should ever, be a point of contention in the negotiations.
Okay, perfect. I was kind of thinking that, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I'm glad that you did confirm that. So that's perfect. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you guys have any questions at all about title or services or anything, even just in title in general, not necessarily with just like buying, here's Beth's contact information. I've worked with multiple different title companies before, and I can honestly say that Beth is hands down the best in terms of, communication and response. So she will get back to you as soon as she can. So there's her contact information. If you guys have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to her or and I can put you in contact with her. So I hope you guys all learned something today. I know I did already. So thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you, Beth, again, for agreeing to meet with me and educate the buyers that are out there. So I really do appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
All righty. Talk to you guys later.